What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. Today we're going to be taking a look at Chainsaw Man. We've already gone over the trial deck that got released earlier this year in JP, but as of the recording of this video, the full set just dropped like last week. So this is like June 20th when I'm recording this. So I wanted to take a look at it and see what the rest of the cards that got added were. I saw a couple cards for it a while back and took a little bit of a glance of like the cards as they came out for like the card of the day stuff and everything. So as they kind of drip fed us, little hints here and there of like power and Makima and everything, I did look at a couple of the cards, so I've seen some of these, but I have not seen all of them. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. As always, I will be trying to highlight mainly the double rares, but if I glance through and I see anything that has a particular interesting effect, I will talk about it a good bit. But let's get right into, first off with the yellows. We have this 1/0 4500 power right here. It is a double rare. It says it cannot side attack, just straight up, for each of your other Devil Hunter or Devil or Animal characters, which I want to say Devil Hunter / Devil is the same thing as saying Avatar and Net. I think it's going to be for the entire set, so it's kind of whatever. If there's something in here that doesn't particularly have that, I'll try to highlight that, or at least like mention it. But for the most part, for every one of your other characters, gets another 500 power, making her a 65. When this attacks, if you have a particular choice climax in play, which is a 1k1, and you have 2 or more other Devil Hunter characters, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose one character amongst them, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, send the rest to waiting room. And if the level of the character across from this is 2, this turn, this gets 6,000 power. It gets power. So just right off the bat, we have 65, 1k1 makes it a 75. If this is specifically attacking a level 2, not like a level 3 or anything, just specifically level 2, it becomes a 13 before anything else. Or, I'm sorry, I did the math. 13-5 before anything else. It doesn't have to reverse for the climax combo. This is already looking really good. Obviously, because you're going to be that big typically, you don't need to side attack, so it's kind of whatever. But to be fair, also, a lot of these cards that say when this attacks, do the climax combo, you don't have to reverse. Sometimes the strategy for those is to side attack, so it's kind of understandable. But they're like, no, you're going to be big. You're going to be punching standby targets in the face. So speaking of punching stuff in the face, we got this other 3/2 power. It's an 8500. If you have 4 or more Devil Hunter Devil characters, this gets -1 level in hand. Super easy early play condition. During your turn, if you have another character, this gets 2500 power and the ability, when this card's level 2 or higher battle opponent is reversed, you can pay 1 stock, and if you do, choose 1 character in your waiting room and add it to your hand. So she gets her own little salvage thing, which is cool. It pays for itself because it's when it becomes reversed, meaning you've attacked and gained a stock. And when this is placed on stage from hand, you can heal 1. This does everything you need it to. Early play, very easy early play condition. It gets big. It becomes an 11k base, and it heals, it salvages. This is really nice. I can expect this to have a very neat price tag to it when it comes out. And here we go. We get this 3/2 Chainsaw Man. He's 9,000. If you have 3 or more other characters, this doesn't look for traits specifically, according to this. It gets plus 2k power. It heals on play. So it's an 11k constant. When this attacks, if you have a choice trigger in your climax area, and you have 3 or more other characters, or specifically 3 or more other characters, I guess it's because then you have 4 characters on board, and that's, the Japanese number for death. And his whole thing's about killing. I don't know, maybe. Deal 1 damage to your opponent, and until the end of your opponent's next turn. This gains the following ability. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may pay the cost, which is pay 2 stock, discard 2 cards. If you do, deal 2 damage to your opponent, then you may send that character to the top of your opponent's deck. From what I've seen, there's a lot of Chainsaw Man cards that have very good removal in terms of, which fits his lore and everything. For a lot of the effects, it's like if it reverses the battle opponent, do this, do that, whatever. So that's actually kind of interesting. So meaning he'll be 12k minimum. You burn for 1, then you can pay like in general. So even if you're attacking it like an open stage, you can still burn for 1. And then until the end of your opponent's next turn, you can pay this cost to do stuff. Meaning you can still do this on your turn. So you can you can try to burn and get rid of characters, but then you also get to do this if your opponent tries to just like kamikaze something into him. And they're like, oh, well, you know, here's some more burn damage coming at you, which is kind of cool. So I'm very much liking this. I'm gonna be curious to see how much this comes out for as well when we get it in English eventually. Oh, and we're getting into Pochita, so I'm just gonna that's the end of the double rares for yellow. We're just kind of glance over stuff and woof, and just woof. Anyway, so we got Brainstorm, pay 1 rest, mill 4. He also has a bond with the. You pitch a level 1 Denji coming up, and you can. Oh no, it's just it's another fusion effect. If you're level 3 or but it's okay, only level 3 or higher fusion effect. So it's basically just kind of a change effect. But it lets you summon the chainsaw, choose up to 1 character with Chainsaw Man in its name. So it's not limited to just the level 3 here. If I'm interpreting this correctly, Denji also has some red cards. And if any of those have Chainsaw Man, you could summon that. Okay, that's cool. And he goes underneath as a marker. So you pay 1, discard a level, this particular Denji right here, because it said number 7. To summon any Chainsaw Man from hand. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then it has a Brainstorm as well, which is really nice. Which is saying mill 4 for each climax, salvage back a character. This Makima, let's see. On play, pay 1, search your deck for a climax. That's really cool to be able to get what you need to. And it gives buffs during the beginning of your climax phase. Power is placed on stage from hand. You can pay 1, pitch 1, look at up to 2, and then put them back on top of the deck in any order. It's basically a drop searcher, because then you get to add a Devil Hunter from waiting room to hand. So it's basically a drop salvager, but you also get to top check, which is interesting. There might be some effects later on where top checking is essential, kind of like thinking like Escanor shenanigans. So the Denji that you can pitch is a 1/0/35. It becomes a 1/0/75 that can't side attack. During this card's battle, when damage you take is canceled, you can send this to waiting room. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your stock. Why not just send him to stock if that's the case? Because then you know it's clean. I don't know. Oh no. I got you. Well, I mean, either way, this is like, okay, when he gets attacked, if you were to cancel the damage, you can get rid of him so they don't get to reverse him for stuff, which is interesting. Power. Once again, her whole thing's attacking like higher level characters than her, and she gets a big buff. She keeps the 4,500 buff until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's actually significant. Okay, cool. More Woof. 2k assist. Heal to stock. Brainstorm to pay 1, tap 2, mill 4, search. Okay. Denji, let's see. Okay. Oh, when this is placed on stage from hand or attacks, you can discard a Devil Hunter Devil to draw a card. Very cool. More Makima. Woof. This is placed on stage from hand. You can pay 1. You can discard 2. Look at up to 2 cards on top of the deck. Add 1 card amongst them to hand. Put the rest into your stock. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is like a faux climax combo. When a climax is placed in your climax area, you can pay a stock to mill 2. Salvage a character equal to X, which is the level. Some of the level the cards milled by this effect, so you get to salvage back. He gets to sack himself to bounce stuff back to hand. See, this says Chainsaw Man. Obviously, you're not going to summon this with the Pochita, but it can be done. Just saying. Okay, so this is something you do have to be careful for. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, send that character to memory. It's mandatory. It very, very much fits his theme. The backup is also a memory kick, so let's see. You get to make your opponent decompress. You get to sack this to bounce back an opponent's character. Denji's whole thing is like removal. Powers is like, I'm going to punch shit that's bigger than me. This is an uncommon. When this attacks, if you have 5 or less clock, you can pay cost. Use up to 3 cards in your opponent's rating and play. So pay 3 stock. Put 1 card from hand to clock and sack the choice trigger. Place them on top of the deck and deal for very, very sacky. Like, you'd obviously, if you could stand by this in, it's whatever. Well, granted, it says if you have 5 or less clock. So if you just put yourself to 3, you can do this. It's just this really hefty cost just to decompress a little bit and burn for 4. But this could still be very useful. I could do something with this. So, let's see. When you get reversed, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Okay, that's actually useful level 0. Oh, this is cool. So at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can sack this Makima to choose one of your characters and move it to this card's former slot. So you could have this in the backstage and then sack this and move a character you have to the backstage as well to make it run to the back, which is pretty cool. Free 2K Makima backup. Nyako. So this having animal trait does work specifically with the power stuff, because all her stuff is like includes the animal trait. So this lets you top check your opponent's cards in exchange for getting markers. Then we have this 1/1. It has a encore of a Devil Hunter or Devil from waiting room to the bottom of your clock. Very interesting. When it attacks, it gains 1,000 times the number of Devil Hunter Devil characters you have, so it can become like 8/5. We got a level assist, Makima, and a rest to give a 2K buff. An event that states, so it's a 1/1 event. You can discard 2 Devil Hunter Devil characters, search your deck for up to 1 character with Denji or Chainsaw, up to 1 Aki, and up to 1 Power. Show them to your opponent, add them to your hand. So, okay, because I know there's some really good Aki cards as well. So that could let you do some very interesting tricolor shenanigans, where you have like, you know, Power and whatnot's all yellow. Denji bounces between yellow and red, and then Aki's like all blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. So you might be able to do some stuff with that. Obviously, we got the triggers are all choice triggers. And I love the art from the fucking show for this. It's so good. All right, let's get into the greens. We have Himeno, a 00500. If you are level 2 or higher, you can you can do an act ability. Pay 1, send this standing character to memory. So you can't brainstorm the same turn you do this. Search your deck for up to 1 level 2 or higher character, show it to your opponent, add it to hand, and shuffle afterwards. Brainstorm of pay 1, rest this mill 4. For each climax, salvage back a character from waiting room. You can't do both in the same turn because it says send this standing character to memory. Which, I mean, I guess she was standing. She didn't have legs when she went, but I mean, that's whatever. Okay, so spoilers aside, kind of interesting. If you could have used both in the same turn, it would be cooler, but that's whatever. This 3/2 Aki is a 65. If you have that Himeno in your memory, this gets 4K power, making him a 10/5 and a character encore. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can salvage back a character from waiting room to hand. And on attack, if you have the gold bar in your climax area, this gets an extra 1,000 power. Send the bottom 4 cards of your opponent's deck to the waiting room. Deal 1 damage to your opponent X times. X is equal to the number of climaxes sent to the waiting room by this effect. This is very strong. So you definitely want to have the Himeno in play. And this is a very fun card. Obviously, you have to be level 2 or higher. This is specifically level 2, puts itself in a memory. I'm wondering if there's an Aki that changes into this. Or maybe another Himeno that changes into this or some shit. I don't know. But it'd be really cool to be able to do that and try to get off this effect multiple times. But being able to burn one multiple times is very powerful. So, and for free, basically. That's really cool. And that's it for the double rares. Kobeni is on play. Discard a card, reveal the top card of your deck. Choose a level X or lower character. X is equal to the level of the revealed card. Another Kobeni. She's adorable, but she's also scary. Let's see. Kishibe. On play, get to pitch a climax to salvage. Also on play, you can mill 3 for free. Interesting. Could be very useful for like some standby builds. Oh, okay, so this Aki is during your turn gets 1,000 power, making him a 3k. And when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, choose one of your other Devil Hunter Devil characters, rest it, move it to an empty back row slot. So we have a clean cut. Heck yeah, that's nice. I'm liking the overframe rare on this as well. That's really cool. Was there other overframe rares for other cards? I didn't even check. Sorry, we're going to go back. I just noticed that was overframe. I wonder if the Denji, or the, okay, the power isn't overframe. That Denji is. So it has, oh, that's cool. So obviously this is going to be the SSP, so that's fair. Anyway. All right, let's go back to the Akis. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it was this one. Okay, so next is another 2/1 Himeno. When this attacks, if you have a particular event in memory, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Devil Hunter Devil or that event, all of your characters get plus 4k power and plus 1 soul. It's just for free too. That's pretty cool. See, this could be something that affects top checking. Like I said, so the other card that does the top checking could very well come into play for this. Ooh, we got Katana Man. Okay. 4 or more Devil Hunters, it gets minus the level in hand. So it can come out at level 1. When this attacks, it gets X power. It gets 1,000 times the number of your opponent's characters. So it can become an 11. It combos with the gold bar. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you can sack the gold bar. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 3 Devil Hunter Devil characters amongst them. Add them to hand. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets plus 2k power and character encore. So you can use him multiple times because gold bars will just pop into your hand like nobody's business. This is going to be a fun climax combo to work around. I'm definitely going to be trying to use this. So Himeno, let's see. It has an alarm. It does some swapping shenanigans. Okay. Okay, so this is when it's placed on stage from hand, you can bounce a character back to your hand, and then you may discard 1 card to bounce an additional character. So if your opponent just has some annoying shit, tell it get off the fucking field. Okay. Let's see, another it's just so many Himenos. Okay. Top checking when a climax gets played to give a character 1,500 power. When your character's trigger check reveals a climax, you can, and you have to have a particular event. We're going to check that event very soon here. It's number 97. So wait, that's going to be in the blue. So you do choose a character in your waiting room, add it to your hand. Oh, yeah. So, because it relates to Aki, I think. So Aki has green and blue. Okay. Let's see. At the start of your opponent's draw phase, if this is in your front row, mill 3. If all of those cards were Devil Hunter Devil characters, you may return this to your hand. Yeah, mill runners don't help you cancel. Just everyone knows this, right? Right? Haha, LOL. Sarcasm. When this is placed on hand for stage 2, any cost for... Okay, cool. So, let's see. Okay, this is kind of cool. This Kishibe, you can't play events or backups from hand. Just in general, it's not even during this card's battle. So if he's on the field, you just can't play events. Just throwing that out there. For each of your other front row copy of this gains 2k power. It's already a 106k, which is like just not that common. But if you have 3 of this in front row, it's a 1010,000? Okay. That's actually really funny. Like, just here, I'm just gonna drop a fucking wall. Have fun, Titans. Okay. Once again, Kobeni doing more mill stuff for a backup. Oh, this is cool. So when you use, it's a 2K backup. When you use this card's backup, if you have a Devil Hunter Devil, choose whether you or your opponent mills 3. Okay, so you get to make your opponent mill or you mill, depending on the situation. That actually could have some interesting stuff. Let you do trigger check twice. Oh, okay, so this is cool. If you have a climax with a choice trigger, all of your other red 0/0 Denjis gain the choice trigger in all zones. So you can make a Denji have more of the choice triggers. That's interesting. That's going to be number 53, so that's not too far away. We got more Katana Man. If you have 2 or more of a level 0 Katana Man, which I'm assuming is this one, underneath him, in your waiting room, he gets minus level in hand. What the fuck? When this attacks this turn, this gets 4,000 power, and you can discard 2 green cards. If you do, your opponent mills 18. What the fuck? Okay. There's just nothing else tied to that. Just make your opponent mill 18. It's like, I'm gonna force you to refresh type thing. At the start of your opponent's main phase, you can pay 1 and put one of those 0/0 Katana Mans from your waiting room to the bottom of your clock. If you do this turn, this cannot be reversed. Okay. And the Katana Man is, when this is reversed, it's a clock bomb. And look up to, it's an act as well. Pay 1, send this to waiting room, look up to 4 cards on the top of your deck. Choose 1 level 1 or higher card amongst them, show it to your opponent, add it to hand. So you can grab level 1 and higher events too. So. Climax Swapper Aki, that's going to be a good card. Kobeni, 104K. She can become a 106K, which is nice. She is also a Climax Swapper. Interesting. Once again, I've seen this easy revenge event like 5 fucking times already. A clock bomb, or it's a removal to be able to do the clock bomb effect. The 2/1. It's a 2,500. During your turn, this gains 10k power, so it just becomes a 12/5. But it's also a level assist, so whether you want it to be in front row or back row, okay, cool. When you gotta step up, you gotta step up, right? This is not the event. During your turn. Oh, she gets pretty big. So she can gain, she could be like a 12/5 during your turn, and she has character encore, which is nice. This can go back to your hand, so this is interesting. Okay. And both of the climax combos in green are both gold bar. All right, so now we're getting into the reds. Let's see. Sorry, I had to look at my phone. It's a 0015 Denji. If this card has a marker underneath it, it gains 2k power. When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card's a Devil Hunter Devil or an unknown event. This card must have come out like as since it's an SP, it might have come out when the spoilers were dropping and the event hadn't been released just yet. So it could very well be the previous event we saw, or it could be an event further down. You may put it underneath this card face down as a marker. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can move this to an empty front row slot with a character across from it. So it basically can become a 35 that runs in front of stuff, and as long as it gets a marker. We have a 0/0 Makima, 1500 power. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, put 1 Devil Hunter Devil character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 level 1 or lower character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. And it has an alarm. If this card is on top of your clock, at the start of your climax phase, choose one of your Devil Hunter Devil characters. It gains the ability, when this attacks, look at the 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them back on top in any order. So that's really cool, being able to set up your triggers and stuff like that. The SP for this is really cool. So this is a SSP as well. So I can imagine the Makima SSPs and SPs and all that are going to be worth a lot. The last double rare is this 3/2 10k Makima. I have seen this one before. If you have the, specifically, this double rare Makima in your, I was supposed to say Makina. Makima in your clock, this gets -a level in hand. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can grab a door climax in your specific door climax in your waiting room and add it to your hand, or send it to stock, whichever you need, in case you already have it in hand. When this attacks, if you have that specific door trigger in your climax area, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Devil Hunter, Devil, or an event, choose one of your opponent's characters, send it to waiting room, and this gains 2k power for the turn. So one of the cool things I know you can do with this is you could just sack your opponent's back row and then have her run over whatever the hell you need it to, because she'll be like a 13k with her own effect and with the door climax. So you can easily just get rid of stuff and then just run over more stuff. Get rid of their back row shit, which is really nice. So that is it for the double rares. We do have more Chainsaw Mans. This is a level 0 with a soul trigger icon. That is not a misprint. Sorry. I just jumped down because I saw that had the note thing there. Let's see. On play gives a buff. When this is placed on stage from hand, choose up to one of your opponent's characters, send it to memory, then your opponent places that character on stage in any slot. Okay, it gets rid of lingering effects. That's fair. Okay. During your turn, if all of your characters are Devil Hunter or Devil characters, this gains 8k power. This is a level 0 that becomes 9,000. When this is reversed, put the top card of your deck into clock and rest. Oh, it doesn't die! It's one of those, just, it keeps coming back. And it just keeps becoming a 9k every single turn. And you just punch stuff with... Okay, that's funny. I'm liking that. Okay. We got more Makima as a 1/0 You have 2 or more other Devil Hunter Devil characters, gains 2k, so it's a constant 6. Has a climax combo with another door trigger. When the door is placed, if this is in your front row and you have 2 or more other Devil Hunter Devil characters, search your deck for a Devil Hunter Devil, show it to your opponent, send it to the bottom of your stock so you can make certain that it's clean. Shuffle your deck afterwards, and this gains the following ability. When this attacks, you can pay 1 stock, and if you do, perform trigger check twice. Interesting. Okay, I'm liking it. I wish it was a little bit more in terms of like hand advantage, being able to like get stuff to your hand, but you get clean stock out of it, which is still nice. It's a 1/06k. It's oversized, so it gives all of your opponent's characters a reduced encore, and it has an accelerate to look at the top 3 cards of your deck to add a character from amongst them to hand. Okay. We have another 3/2 Chainsaw Man. So you could summon this off the Pochita. When this is placed on stage from hand, heal 1. When this direct attacks, you can discard 3 cards. If you do, choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, place them on top of their deck in any order, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gains 2k power. That's a little excessive to me. And it has to direct attack, so it's kind of whatever. So I guess it's trying to make certain that you're going to get like guaranteed damage since you're putting 2 on top of the deck. I don't know. That's whatever. And this Makima combos with the standby. Oh, this is all levels of interesting. Okay. So when the standby is placed in your climax area, if you have 2 or more other Devil Hunter Devil characters, declare your deck or waiting room. Choose up to 1 0/0 Denji coming up in the declared zone. Show it to your opponent and add it to your hand. If you declare deck, shuffle your deck. Brainstorm. Send one of your other characters on stage to waiting room. Rest this. Mill 4 for each climax. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose 1 card amongst them, add it to your hand, or send the rest to waiting room. Then we have... So let's go ahead and take a look at the Denji. Was 66. Oh, it's a level 3 specifically, so it's a standby combo to grab that. Okay, cool. We'll go back to that. So you specifically get to add it to your hand. When this is placed on stage from hand or sent from the stage to waiting room, use one of your opponent's characters until the end of the next turn. This gains the ability that this cannot move to other slots. So anti-runner. When this is placed on stage from hand, mill 4. If there's a climax amongst them, choose one of your opponent's level 3 or lower characters, bounce it back to hand. Oh, and it's an anti-change reverser on top of that, so. Oh, so you can just get rid of like a ton of like your opponent's bullshit. Oh, okay, so I'm liking that power as well. Akima, you may choose a 2/2 lollipop event for the effects of in your waiting room for the effects of door trigger. So it lets you salvage an event if you trigger the door climax trigger. That's cool. When a climax with door trigger is placed in your climax area, choose one character in your waiting room. You may add it to your hand. If you do, choose a climax in your climax area, and it gains the following. And it gains the following ability. All of your characters get minus 1,000 power and -1 soul. So it's meant to negate the effects of playing a door trigger. Okay. It's meant to just go ahead and salvage something right then and there, but then you just forego the effects. I guess this can also be useful if you're needing to poke for like exact numbers, but still. And then a rest to give somebody a 15 buff. Okay, so this is interesting. The Denji that the Makima adds back to hand from the previous effect, from one of the other effects, is a 3/2 10/5. This card's damage is dealt from the bottom of your opponent's deck instead. Okay. Which, he's had the whole, like, sending stuff to the top or bottom of the deck or whatever. At the start of your attack phase, you can pay 1, sack the standby trigger. If you do, stand this. Oh, okay, so this is one of those that you could summon off of the standby and then stand himself. Then choose a 3/2 Aki in your hand, place it on stage in any slot. This turn, that card and this card gain the following ability. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, you may send that character to the bottom of your opponent's deck. Oh, this is the okay. The reason this works off the Aki is I think this is the scene where him and Aki started repeatedly kicking this one dude in the nuts. I think that's what this scene is. When this is frontal attack, look at the top card of your deck and put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room. Okay, so that's really cool. This is all levels of interesting. Obviously, you can summon it and an Aki out early. So we will get to that Aki in a little bit here. Sorry, I'm stifling some yawns. Get the top check and add it to add Devil Hunter Devil characters to hand and discard a card. When this attacks, choose one of your other characters. You may send it to stock. That's interesting. If 2 or more other Devil Hunter Devil characters gets 2k power, so she's constantly a 106k. Interesting. Okay, so when this is played, if you have a yellow card in your level zone, you can discard 3 characters with Denji, Chainsaw Man, or Makima to draw up to 3 cards. Okay. You have 2 or more Devil Hunter characters. This gains 2k power and character encore. Okay, so this is your like typical standby target. This is really good. Let's see. Oh, these work off of each other. Oh, this is really cool. Okay. So each of these are 2/1s. They each have 2 soul. All of your so this power specifically buffs this Denji, and this Denji specifically buffs this power. They each give each other plus 4,000 power. So this one will be an 85, and this one will be a 9k. This one says when this is placed on stage from hand, you can put the top card of your deck into your clock to summon this particular Denji from waiting room. And this says when the card's battle opponent is reversed, you may send that character to memory. So it's optional, which is really cool. This is where they were doing like some training against like Kishibe or something. And this, so this is interesting that they each have 2 souls. So being able to just summon those out and constantly are able to just, I guess it's a little bit, it's beneficial depending on the deck that you're in, because you can poke for more damage at level 2 like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here is the level 2 target for standby. 2/2/6/5 for each of your other Devil Hunter Devil characters. This gains 1,000, so it can become a 10/5, and it has character encore. Here is a interesting one. During your turn, for each of your opponent's back row characters, this gains 3k power. So, okay, so that means she's a 2/2. She'll be a 13,000 if your opponent has 2 characters back row. It's only during your turn, but that's huge. Encore is send 2 of your characters on stage to the waiting room. Very, very fitting for Makima. Then we have a level 3 power. Oh shit, when this is placed on stage from hand, discard 3 cards. If you do, search your deck for up to 4 Devil Hunter Devil characters, show them to your opponent, choose 1 card from amongst them, send it to stock, add the rest to hand, and shuffle your deck. So it pays for half of its cost, and then you still get to replenish what you want. When this card's trigger check reveals a climax trigger, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. This is really cool for a common. The Lollipop event, send this to memory. If this is in your memory at the start of your opponent's attack phase, if this is in your memory at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can flip this face up to face down. If you do choose one of your opponent's characters, it gets -3 soul. This is going to be interesting. You can pop this and just wait on it. Obviously, all of the that smile though. She's just washing her hands. So we have 2 salvage, 2 standby. Yeah, I was right. Okay, this is when they're kicking the homeboy in the nuts. So, hold on. I want to go back and make certain I know which number that Dingy is, because that's gonna be really fucking funny. It's number 90. Okay, cool. So, back down to blue. So not just yet, but so we have a couple more double rares. Oh, Himeno also is blue, not just green. Interesting. So 1035 Aki. If you have 2 or more other Devil Hunter Devil characters, this gains the following 2 abilities. For 1, oh, that's interesting. For 1, this gains 3k power, so it becomes a 6/5. It has event or climax encore. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I don't think I've ever seen this particular effect before. That's just me. When this attacks, if you had the pants trigger in your climax area, choose 1 character in your waiting room and you may add it to your hand. So that kind of fits if you're doing like a whole bunch of pants triggers and gold bar triggers in the same deck. You're going to get those in your hand so much. So it's like they turned a typical complaint that a lot of players have with like gold bar decks and pants decks of you just have climaxes in your hand constantly. You can purposely use those as payment. That's actually kind of cool and interesting. It's like, hey, we know people complain about this a whole bunch. Let's turn it into something useful. So that's interesting. Then we have this 2/1 Himeno is a 7k. When this attacks, if the level of the character across from this is 3 or higher, this gains 6k power, making her a 13. If this is on top of your clock at the start of your climax phase, you can discard 1 card. If you do look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose a Devil Hunter Devil character amongst them, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. So, pretty cool. That's it for the double rares. We're just going to kind of skim through because I realize the video's been kind of going for a while. Let's see. We still haven't seen this Easy Revenge event, so definitely going to be curious as to what the fuck that thing does. So that's number 97. Let's see. On death, pitch a card, look up to 4, add a level 1 or higher. If you have the event, two or more of the event in memory, this can be early played. When this is placed on stage from hand, heal 1. This gains 15 power. This lets you build some stock. Let's see. 3/2 Himeno. When this attacks, if you have pants trigger and 2 or more of the event in memory, deal 2 or 3 damage to your opponent. You get to choose. That's interesting. It's also a pay 1, pitch 1. And it heals on play. This is actually a very nice rare. Okay. Once again, if you can get the event to go off, at level 3, you should be able to do that. And then you get to choose how much damage you do to your opponent. So if you need to push, that's cool. If you need exact amounts, that's cool. Let's see. On play, pay a cost, search for the event. Bottom deck reverser. Level 0 combo. We have a... Sorry, I was confused by this. Level 1 or lower stock soul climax? Oh, it's saying the stock soul effect is does the pick a level 1 or lower character and send it to stock. That's what I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I don't know, like, stock souls don't have levels, silly. So, sorry, me misreading. If you have 2 or more other Devil Hunter Devils, you can sack the climax, look up to 3 cards on the top of your deck, choose 2 characters or event from them to hand, and send the rest to waiting room. It's a spammable brainstorm for each climax. Look it up to 3, add a 1 amongst them to hand, and discard 1 card. The Future Devil! This is cool. This does some interesting marker shenanigans. More climax swapping. There's a lot of Aki climax swapping, which is interesting. You get to refresh with this Aki. Okay. All right, so this is the one the Denji summons. This card's damage is dealt from the bottom of your opponent's deck. Oh, okay. So once again, it is when they're kicking him in the nuts, because it's saying dealt from the bottom of the deck. It's saying, like, it's making a joke on getting kicked down there instead of, you know, up top or something. Got you. Okay. It finally clicked for me. I'm sorry that it took a second. During your turn, when this card's battle opponent is reversed, pay 1, pitch 1, deal 1. So that's really cool. If this is in the front row center slot, this gains 2k. Oh, you get to trigger check twice, but then it sends the top card of your stock to the waiting room. Okay. Interesting. If it only does that if you trigger twice. Okay. Drop Searcher Himeno. A level 1 anti-change. You can discard 2 cards when you use this card's backup. Choose one of your opponent's level characters with a level higher than their level. Send it to the bottom of their deck. This is needed more in Weiss right now. Then we have a 1/04k. During your turn, if you have a card in memory, it gains 2500 power. So it becomes a 6/5. And then if the character across from this is level 2, it gains an extra 6k. Damn. More Himeno. All right, here we go. Easy Revenge. It's just straight up says that. Okay. So it's a 1/1 event. Mill 2. Choose 1 level X or lower Devil Hunter Devil character in your waiting room. Add it to your hand. X is equal to the sum of the levels milled by this effect. Then you send this to memory. If this is in your memory, when your level 3 Aki attacks, look at the bottom card of your opponent's deck and put it on the bottom deck or into their waiting room. Interesting. Okay. And then, like I said, we have pants triggers for them. And then this is the level 1 or lower stock soul effect. Then we're getting into the promos. We get a promo power that is a spammable brainstorm to salvage. Make sure your opponent do some. Make sure you can move your opponent's characters with that. A Makima promo that lets you pay an extra stock to add it back to hand. When this is placed on stage from hand. Okay, cool. If you have 2 or more other Devil Hunter characters, this gains 3k power. So it's a constant 1065. This is actually a really good one. And when it attacks, you can do trigger check twice. And if you did trigger twice, put the top card of your stock into your waiting room. And that is it. Okay, so... Oh, these promos have the hot stamped? Or just that one does? Oh, maybe this is like a promo from like this says shop promo. Okay, interesting. I don't know. Box promo. And that is it. So yeah, that was Chainsaw Man. Apologize for the yawns here and there. It's whatever. Very interesting. I can see some plays. I can see some things that can be done with a couple of the different combos and whatnot. Some interesting decks could be built. There's a lot of interesting things. Like I'm really liking this idea of summoning the Aki off of this standby and then just dealing damage from the bottom of your opponent's deck instead is just, it's kind of crazy. It's stuff that you don't see, but it's an interesting effect. It doesn't really change a whole lot of stuff, but it is just something kind of funny to do, as well as it's very fitting for the two cards that this summons, or for this and the other card that it summons. It's very fitting considering it's the nut kicking scene. That is actually kind of cool. But yeah, that is it for Chainsaw Man. I am very excited for this particular set to come out. I've eagerly been counting the days that we finally get this set, and I definitely want me some Makima when it comes out. What is your favorite card or set of combo effects or whatever from this set? Please comment them below. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by to check out this set overview and just kind of a first glance at a lot of stuff. And with that, we will be signing off for now. Thank y'all very much for watching once again, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.